So whenever you hear somebody rummaging through your bins on, like a Wednesday morning or something like that, that's probably what they're looking for.
Why do I feel like I'm about to be offended?
Oh shit! Here we go again.
But I want to talk about something else. This is crazy. The other week, I saw some men in, I believe it was India or Pakistan, using recycled plastics to make, recycled furniture. And I thought that looks dangerous. It did not look safe whatsoever. There was no safety procedures. And I kind of thought this is another kind of situation where we're told recycling is good. So I'll break it down for you because I had a bit of a research on this and it seems to be quite kind of upsetting the way this is working. So basically what they do is they take, recycled bags, bottles, cans, everything, like all that kind of stuff, and they melt it all down. And then they put it in a machine. So they dry it after they melt it all down using water. So they kind of like cool it all down. They wait till it goes hard. They put it into like a grinding machine, which grinds it up. And then they kind of, use these chips to melt them down again into a mold to mold it into your outside patio furniture. So, in Australia, we got an incentive, 10 cents per can or bottle. That's your recycling incentive. So whenever you hear somebody rummaging through your bins on, like a Wednesday morning or something like that, that's probably what they're looking for. They're 10 cents per can. So here's the thing though. This creates something called microplastics. Have you heard about microplastics?
The ones that they put in your food?
Yes, pretty much. Exactly. Because microplastics, because of these kind of processes, microplastics, which are about half the size of a red blood cell, you get released into the atmosphere and into the water. There's actually been traces of microplastics in Antarctica, which is pretty remote. But microplastics are now getting into everyone's systems. The air you breathe, the food you eat, the water you drink, it's kind of everywhere.
And the effects of the testosterone on young men, as opposed to like 20, 30, 40 years ago, like it keeps getting worse. It's like we're like a third of like, what our father's father had for testosterone. So, I mean, I guess it's a way to keep the men docile and not as strong and defiant and more in line, I guess. But there is a lot of negatives as well that comes along with that. Not just those little negatives. There's actually a lot of terrible stuff that it does as well.
I mean, less testosterone kind of means you can produce more estrogen. I'm pretty sure that it cancels itself out with estrogen. But you in a man, for example, they'll put on weight easier. You docile, subservient men.
It's like them putting soy in everything as well.
Exactly. That's why the term soy boy originated from. I don't know. That might not be true.
I'm going to run with that. I like that.
We'll have a soy boy comment down below. I freaking know it right now. But basically, these microplastics getting into your food, these are the things that are causing cancer. These are causing a whole bunch of, health issues around the world. And it's just another example of you being told you're doing the wrong thing. Here's a paper straw, paper bag, but this one little plastic item you can't have. While there's just plastic everywhere else. Zupa Dupas are made with a plastic, little bag, but your plastic straw is the problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a legal limit in your food that they're allowed to have.
Yeah.
So every food company, they're allowed to have a legal amount of plastics in your food that you're actually ingesting, not just what it's made of, actually that you're ingesting in the food.
There's a legal amount of rat crap you're allowed to eat in your food as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Coffee grinds. I think I've said this to you before. I refuse to have instant coffee because I know that cockroaches actually climb into where they have the beans in storage, and they actually get crushed up with the beans, and your coffee ground instant coffee mix has actually got little bits of cockroach in it. So I just refuse to eat
there you go. To the WEF that's trying to make everyone eat bugs. We're already eating bugs, so just leave us alone.
Yeah, we're doing our part. We're doing our part. But yeah, so I watched that video on TikTok and it made me want to research something, and I was kind of horrified to find out,
Mm.
these microplastics are doing what you just said. They're really causing people a lot of grief around the world. Thank you for watching Glass Culture Podcast. If you liked this video, click here to subscribe. If you want to see the full podcast, click here.